Teamwork makes the dream work, so the saying goes, and it's definitely a little motto that our family lives by.
We build a tree house.
Getting our boys involved in as much as they safely can, and gathering an epic team of people around us to quite literally keep this show on the road. Sometimes, though, one member of our team needs a little bit of help. And at the moment, that member is John.
John's really needed some time just to not be talking to camera and to just be not focusing on the build, just let everybody get on with it.
After a taxing few months of financial stress and bureaucratic headaches, John really needs a break. So while he takes some time out and starts to dream up his next incredible creation, allow me to share my world on the farm and the build with you.
Again.
The first plum. Good morning, everybody. It is very early. Sawyer's decided he doesn't like plums. It is not even 7:30 and we are already up and at 'em this morning. Crusoe's found the first plum of the season, and this morning at 6:30 in the morning I could hear the tap 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 of Marcus's hammer outside on the build site. It's Saturday today. The guys don't usually come on Saturdays, but they're here today. I'm not entirely sure why, but I think they're just keen to keep momentum going. We'll have everybody on site. We'll also have Joao on site, and we also have Carlos, who you may remember, who laid the terracotta floors in the stone house, and who last weekend cleaned the roof of the house we're currently living in, the stone house, and today he's going to paint it and seal it with a protective paint so that we don't get any more leaks through there. It's going to be a busy day. The first thing we've got to do is check on a very broody little silky hen. Right, how's Suki doing?
Look, watch.
Oh, there she is. Hello, sweetie. Zoe, can you hold the door?
Yeah.
Oh, I know, darling. I know. I'm sorry. Okay, she's only got her eggs. That's good. We'll come and check her later. Okay? Well done. So we've been checking Suki twice a day.
I'm so excited the whole water.
Me too, buddy. We have been checking Suki twice a day just to make sure she's not collecting any extra eggs. I've left her with 4 of what I think are her own eggs. We get loads of different kinds of eggs. We get green ones, blue ones, pink normal ones, and then we get the little ones, which I can only assume are the silky eggs. I'd really like silky chicks, so I've left her with 4 little eggs, and we'll see what we get. And then the next job of the day is always to check the strawberries. Sawyer, remember, baby, only the red ones.
Now, where's my bucket?
Here's your bucket. Well done. Look what I see.
What?
The very first blueberries. Let Mummy pick them so that there's no fighting. One for you. And one for you. How were they?
Yeah.
Yum?
Mom, look, these guys are getting fat.
They are getting fat, hey, but they're not ready yet. We've got to wait till they're blue, remember? How amazing is that? Our very own blueberries. Who's excited? So stop picking them. I told you not to. Right. Any more strawberries or have you got them all?
Mom, look, the baby watermelon's getting in seeds.
That's exciting.
Loads of
isn't it?
them.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to have a festival everywhere.
I am pleased to report that nothing has eaten my vegetables again. I think it's a combination of the fact that the slugs are gone because it's got really, really hot. Everything is bursting to life. We've got flowers on the tomatoes, the cucumbers are growing finally, the peppers have finally got bigger. We do actually have some baby peppers on there. Everything just looks so much healthier because finally we've got sun and not so much rain. And I also haven't had anybody in my chard and beetroots again. So I think it was definitely the chickens who are no longer free ranging, but we are making sure that they've got heaps and heaps of greens, lots of food, and lots to scratch around in so that they're entertained. We will let them out again. We just need to put a fence up and we haven't had time or money. So yeah, we're just doing what we can at the moment.
You know, I don't know. It's still quite heavy. I've been waiting for the sun to dry the wood out a little bit so that I can build from it. but it is still pretty heavy wood, so I don't know how much water content is in there. What do you think?
I don't know, love. You're the wood expert.
Yeah. I was thinking we build a table today. What do you think? You know, because the table that we've got at the moment in the courtyard under the tree is wobbly and it's broken and it's gone rotten already. So I was thinking we build a new table today. Centimeters. Is it big enough? Do we want the same size table?
I don't know if I wouldn't prefer a longer, like a rectangle.
Okay, so it's...
No, actually, love, this was great, wasn't it? We can 2, 4, 6, 8. We've been able to sit 8 people comfortably around it. Maybe a bit bigger.
A bit bigger. Okay, so 150 by 150.
Yeah. Right, can you please get me the bread rolls from the gate?
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. Well done. Yay! Well done. Let's have some breakfast. We haven't even had breakfast yet and we're already busy, hey?
I'm gonna make it.
What are you going to make, Sawyer?
I'm gonna make supper.
Supper? What's for supper?
This.
What is that? Bread rolls? That's Mummy's bread, hey? Crusoe, take us outside because it's very sandy.
Oh yeah, I want to play outside. So let's play outside.
Play outside.
Mommy, I want my
Okay, do you want a little bit of bread roll to eat while I cook the eggs?
I love this one.
So this one, look how good this one is. Feel it. Soft like a clam.
This one is very crunchy and I love crunchy.
You love crunchy ones. Okay, so let me make some eggs and then you can have a crunchy one. Yeah? We'll see what Chris is doing. I think he needs help.
You know, I want to touch it.
You want to touch it?
Oh, it's so
Good, eh?
yes. Why are you making that lines?
I'm making patterns.
Oh, I give it a kiss. There's one person here trying to go off the roof.
Oh, really? Carlos?
Yeah.
One of the things that I really think adds to this time of stress that we're in is this age of information overload. We're constantly bombarded with information from all different places, and one of those places obviously is the news. It's really, really hard to know if what you're reading is true. Something that's really, really helped me and John is an app called Ground News. Ground News gathers all of the news into one place, and it rates every single article and news provider by their factuality and their bias. What I like to focus my own news feed on is health and wellness. It's something that I personally find absolutely fascinating. And one of the stories that really caught my eye recently was the story of Weight Watchers going bust. It's quite an extraordinary shift in diet culture around the world. But you can see with this particular example how different news outlets are reporting that story so differently. They're either focusing on the fact that the diet culture's changed and that Weight Watchers is going under, or they're focusing on this rise of weight loss jabs, which is a complex topic in and of itself. What I don't want to be doing is consuming health and wellness information that is incorrect, which is why I love Ground News. Use our link in the description below. It's groundnews.com/TheNewbys, and you will get 40% off their Vantage plan. I couldn't recommend it enough, guys. It's been an absolute game changer for me. Now, let's go and have a walk around the build site, shall we? Anyway, the honest truth of it all is it's been a few days since we filmed anything. John and I have really hit a bit of a wall recently, John especially, and I think have been suffering with a tiny bit of burnout.
the stress of everything that's been going on with the banks and the loans has been really, really full on. And even though that was concluded a while back and we got the money, we didn't actually get as much as we needed. So we got enough just to sort of see us over the line, but the line's moved again and the stress comes back. And this, I think, is the reality of building your own home, isn't it? Like it's really, really stressful. I think we've been in a phase of, I don't know, just really missing family, like really finding it quite hard to be here going through something like this without the support of family around. So we've had a few days off, maybe 4 or 5 days of just kind of taking it easy. John's really needed some time just to not be talking to camera and to just be not focusing on the build, just let everybody get on with it. He's had a fair bit of sleep and just needed some space. And me and the boys have just tried to kind of keep busy and, you know, pick up the phone, call the people that you love, keep in touch. So anyway, what I suppose is important for you guys to know is that a lot has happened on the build since we were last filming on site. So if I take you for a walk around now, I can fill you in and show you where we've got to and onwards and upwards from here, I suppose. So we'll start here at the front of the house. Look at these magnificent pillars. I mean, aren't they just amazing? They are coming along so beautifully. So we've got 3 layers now of the supporting stones. That's where the other one will start. So we're going to have 1 big arch, 2 big arches, and a 3rd one all the way to that corner there. The guys have done a lot of stonework across the front now. Around here, they've been working on this window into what will be our kind of snug / utility space, which is looking amazing. The guys have also sort of set up residence in there, which is great. They've got somewhere to relax and chill. And up here, this is our kitchen, obviously, you can start to see gaps for windows and spaces being made as the walls start to go up. So yeah, it's all coming along. We've got some real kind of noticeable facades coming up now. Look how high the stone is going up outside of our staircase. It looks incredible. So there's Marcus down there getting some more stones ready for what he is doing today. She's been wandering around this morning just kind of clearing up and getting all of these shards into one place so that they, you know, these are what they use to sort of stabilize the stones and fill the gaps. This is what this wall is looking like, and if we just go down the stairs quickly, you can have a look from the front of the house. Look at that. Isn't that starting to look absolutely lovely? So there's the first kitchen kind of window space starting. And then the other one is already also starting to take shape. They've also started the stonework around this room here, which is our newly designated 5th bedroom. So they've started putting the stones around like this. And I think today are going to be continuing with that, but also, morning Roby, around the front of the house over there. So they've put, you can see around the pillars, and John's talked about this before, but the importance of a gap between the rock and the concrete so that you don't get water penetration into the concrete, which would then rust the rebar and cause problems. So they've been filling it with this insulation between the rocks and the concrete pillars. And then these stones, between these and the wall, there'll be an air gap because obviously we'll have the brick layer coming up and then the insulation and all the rest of it that's going to make the house comfortable, warm and dry. One thing we have decided to do, and Eduardo is really on board with it, which is amazing, is if you remember a while ago we did a sponsorship with a company called Fiverr, and the interior designer that we worked with on there was absolutely incredible, and she did a mock-up of our kitchen for us, which I just fell in love with, and she put a big arched window here at the front of the kitchen, which will be amazing alongside the arches on the veranda. So that'll be beautiful to have this arched kitchen window. When we showed Eduardo the pictures, he was like, oh yes, we absolutely have to do that. Up on the roof, there is so much going on, but I'm not going to go up there just right now because I've got Crusoe with me. I'll wait for John to get back. He's just gone to the shops with Sawyer because John's got plans to build us a new table. But we'll tell you more about that in a little bit. So he's gone off to the local hardware store to go and get what he needs to do that. Before I wrap up with the little catch-up tour, let me show you what Joao's up to, because if you've been here a while, I think you'll be pleased to see it. So what Joao's up to over here is putting supports up for our Wisteria, which is doing so well. This is the Wisteria that used to be on the derelict house. We dug it up when we were demolishing the house that used to be there, and we moved it here to the back of the stone house, and it's just going crazy. Literally every time Joao comes to work, he has to put a new bit of wire into the wall to keep it under control and training. The plan is to let it grow all the way up the side of this house, and then perhaps too, this gate is going to go, And we're going to put a little pedestrian gate here. And then the plan is to put almost like a pergola between the two houses and have that wisteria trained across it and up onto the stone of that house as well, which will be incredible. Right, on that note, I am going to put you guys down for a second and spend some time with Crusoe, who is learning how to ride his bike without his stabilizers. That's it. Wow, good work. Remember, push pedal. If you go, push. Obi, no. Got it? Well done.
I think I can do it, Mom.
Okay. Okay, balancing?
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
Sit down, sit down. I think it's easier. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Off you go. Watch the wall, Crusoe. You watching? That's it. Keep going. You got to keep pedaling. Well done. High five. Look at this, guys. We're going up. We are going up, 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 up. So the plan for the stone this morning is that, well, I think for the day actually, is Marcus is going to continue here on this front wall. There's Roby with the next stone coming up. And they're just going to keep working because I think they're quite keen to move the crane. So we've said a few times that that crane is needing to move because it can't reach right across the build site. So the idea is that once they've finished this side of the house, it can move to the front of the house. So I think that's why the focus is really on this bit. We also had a conversation with Joachim yesterday about windows and how to get them fitted into this stone. Obviously you can't fit an aluminium window into a rough stone edge. It needs to be a smooth edge to seal the silicone. We didn't quite understand the nuances of what he was trying to say, but I know Eduardo is going to come early next week to talk to us about next steps. They're also in the process of costing up the next phase of the build. This was phase 1, which we've almost covered, almost, and phase 2 will start imminently, so they are costing up what they expect it to cost, and yeah, hopefully it's going to be okay. At least everything's getting a good watering. Right, where the biggest change has happened, I think, I haven't been up there for, I don't know, 4 days, is up on the roof. If you've been around, you'll know that the things that have been going on mainly is stonework and roof work. From what I can see from the ground, the change up here is pretty epic. So let's go and have a look. Have a look at this. So they finished these walls, which are the supports. And where I thought they were going to leave gaps here to rest the concrete, they've actually smoothed everything over. So they've been cutting the bricks and they've been cementing in the gaps. They've also created the mouldings, this mould here, for the apex. I think they're going to obviously be pouring that out of concrete, so that's all been done. They've got a big table saw up here cutting all of the wood. There's Daniel over there doing some more of his amazing carpentry and getting all of this stuff ready to go. They've bricked in the sides, which I think has got something to do with the cornicing and the roof. And then over here, you can see this really interesting roof shape coming to life. Here we go, all these different apexes and angles, everything's been built in. It looks to me like they're kind of almost ready to start laying a roof. You know, all of the preparation work is looking pretty good. There's Shiva bringing up a bit more wood for Daniel. The guy's selecting another stone. Gosh, it really is all happening today. And a moment for that roof over there. Isn't that looking so smart? Right, so there you go. That is your catch up of what's been going on site while we've been taking a bit of time away. We're both feeling a little bit lighter, brighter, ready to get back into it. John's very excited to build that table. It's going to replace the table that we built when we first got here, which we made out of the wine press from the Not Garage or the Adega. Sadly, that table has seen better days. It's looking pretty knackered, and we did actually have a delivery lorry who brought us wood chips who reversed into it, so the legs are completely, you know, it's like balancing on a thread. So we really do need a new table. He's going to go and get what he needs. He's going to check if that wood is looking all right to be able to do it. I've got some fun plans to see if we can maybe stain the wood like the wine press was stained, and also, of course, to incorporate some sort of tile design. But yeah, it feels good to be back, but it really, really felt very, very needed to take a break. Despite it being a real financial stretch, we have put on the credit card some flights to Zimbabwe for August to see the folks, and so the kids can hang out with cousins during school holidays, and we're super excited about that. So, you know, sometimes you've just got to, even if the money feels extremely stretched, you've got to prioritize your own well-being and your family's happiness, and we'll find a way. Anyway, I can hear Crusoe with Joao. I'm going to go back down and see you when John gets back in hopefully a few minutes. Well, that stone looks like it's going up and over to the front. Isn't it amazing to think that when this house is finished and all of the stones are in place, of which there are many, that each one will have needed to have been moved individually.
Darling, oh darling, what you worrying about? Every season changes, oh, but I'll still be around. Anytime I think of you, my heart is on my sleeve. I wear it more often now. You're not here with me. Mile after mile, heavy heart behind the smile.
Gosh, things are storming along this morning. There's Joachim, the big boss, just checking everything with even more stones going up this wall. Do you know what is quite incredible? Is being able to get a sense of the size of these rooms. You know, there's something really difficult about trying to picture the actual size of something before it has walls up. When it's just like mapped out on the ground, it often feels really, really big. And then once you start putting the concrete down, it felt even bigger. And then you put the walls up and then you get a real sense of, does it actually feel big or does it start to feel small? It's definitely not feeling small. This is a beautiful big house. And as these walls start going up and you start to feel a little bit more contained, you really get an appreciation for what size the rooms are going to be and what they're going to feel like to be in them. What I wish we could do, and I think we will do it somewhere in the house, but not the external walls, is you watch these walls going up and you think, gosh, wouldn't it be amazing to have the stone exposed on the interior as well? But what we really don't want is a house that isn't insulated or dry. This part of Portugal gets so wet in the winter, and everybody I know struggles with the damp, and it's impossible to kind of manage it in an old Portuguese house. We're building a new Portuguese house and we really, really want to be free of all of those problems. So we are going full out with insulation. But what will be really beautiful is, I think here, this is obviously the door from the kitchen to the veranda, and here some of it's going to be wall and some of it's going to be open because this is all going to flow. Okay, so front door, coming up the steps from the outside through this door, and you come in here. This is a hallway or kind of entrance space with the stairs going upstairs. We were going to put cupboards here, but now we've got this gap to make stairs going down to the utility space. So I don't know what we're going to do here. Maybe a fake wall or something, or could this be a stone wall? Could we do, I think that's going to be beautiful. I think I've just decided. But you know how Marcus did the reclaimed stone wall downstairs in the utility space? If we could do something similar in this gap here, so you walk in and you're kind of hugged by stone. This then flows through to the living and dining space, and this is the kitchen space. Now, I know we're going to have long counters along the side here and a big arched window in the front there that I think is probably going to be kind of floor to ceiling. And then the door out to the veranda. We're going to have a big island in the kitchen in the middle here. And I think we may even have a wall. So the door coming into the kitchen here with a wall kind of flanking that wall to make a closed hallway. So maybe those two walls are stone. And then we're going to have some big kitchen cupboards on this side of the kitchen here. Now, this door and space through here is either going to be a wall or it's going to be, and that I would love to be in stone if possible. But I also really love the idea of continuing the theme of arches and having a stone arch inside the house that links the kitchen through to the dining room. So this will be the dining area. We'll have a beautiful big dining table here, and then through here is the living room. Imagine big, comfortable sofas here with bifold doors both there and there, so that we just make the most of that incredible panoramic view, soon to be framed by stone arches. And at the back here, where we've got our little bay window, we're going to have a fireplace, and I think the fireplace is going to sit here, and then we'll have like the bay window with beautiful cushions and like a little reading nook with a few armchairs, and this is going to be like a reading snug, you know? Can you picture those winter evenings sat by a roaring fire with a book reading? It's blissful, isn't it? And in the daytime you've got this big comfy, like I can see like an big L-shaped sofa here taking in these views. I mean, it's kind of idyllic, isn't it? Can't wait. I really, really can't wait. The veranda is an interesting one. So we're starting to get an idea of the veranda size, and I don't know how accurate it's going to feel on the camera. There's Obi for perspective, right? So a big dog takes up about half of it. The idea was to have furniture out here, some sort of, I don't know, seating areas, sofas, perhaps and a dining table. We got a beautiful dining table from one of our subscribers, Ros. Thank you so much again. Her family were selling her parents' house up in northern Portugal, not far from us, maybe an hour and a half, and we bought a whole load of the furniture from their house. We've got a beautiful big oak dining table and benches, and we already, at the minute we saw that, we were like, that is going to be perfect on the veranda. So we have got a few pieces that we can already start seeing in place, you know, and start picturing what it's going to look like. And this is going to be a very, very special place that we are going to be deeply proud of.
Well done, boys.
Good work, boys.
Stonemasons in the making.
Oh, good job, guys. Oof, the day is hotting up. Everybody's got their hats on. The guys are carrying on. Tell you what is so sweet about moments like that with Crusoe and Sawyer is seeing how they interact with these guys and how much they're learning. They now spend most of their day stacking stones and pretending they're stonemasons, calling themselves Marcus and Adele. It's really amazing to see everything that they're learning just by being surrounded by this stuff. These walls are flying up now. They've all got themselves into a rhythm, and up they go. The pillars are getting taller for the arches. Have a look at this. By the end of next week, we may have a roof. And by the end of the week after that, I imagine, we'll probably have these arches in.